That'll help.
All
right,
yeah,
there you
I'm
go.
gonna edit out the first part anyway, because it's just a little background for y'all. So, talk to you a little bit about Tipa Snow's model that she uses for the progression of dementia, and she calls it GEMS. And I'll start with just a short video from Tipa. So if you don't know who Tipa Snow is, he'll introduce you a little bit to her. And I don't think I can't give you that philosophy better than the words coming from Tipa. So, and I forgot my clicker. Let me start that on the clicker.
Time to talk about progression. How does this disease change over time? Now, unfortunately, typically what people talk about is loss. Oh, it's worse, it's worse, it's worse. And it's going to get harder, and things are going to get worse. But if that's all you're thinking about, you're missing opportunities. It's not just about the loss. It's always about what do they have left. And so I took the scales that were out there and looked at them, and frankly, they're pretty depressing. They emphasize too much, what's going to happen next, and it's not a good thing. So what I decided is, let's stop talking about people as though they were less, and let's start looking at people as though they still have something. My job as a care partner is to figure out how to provide the right support and the right care so they can shine. Quit thinking about them as numbers. Is this a stage 1, 2, or 3, or a level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? And instead, how about if we looked at, how are they precious? How are they unique? What do they have that I can still use to help them live life? Because life happens, and we're both gonna live it, so how's it gonna be? So I thought, how about gems? How about if we thought about people as precious and unique? There's not a single gem that I know of that people don't find attractive and interesting. And if I could get you to think about people as having something positive, something good, and I got you to see them that way and understand them that way, then you may be more interested in providing the right setting and the right care so they can shine. And so what I did is I took a scale that's out there, Aelc cognitive levels, cognitive disabilities. It's something used in occupational therapy. And I took that and I built off of that. And what we have are gems, 6 of them, 6 levels. Sapphires and diamonds and emeralds and ambers and rubies and pearls. All of those are amazing gems, but they're all different, they're all unique, they all have characteristics. Now, the way I organize this is sapphire. Notice how it's on the other hand. It's a little special. It's a brain that's true blue. It's a brain that's not experiencing the changes that come with.
So for whatever reason, the technology isn't my friend today. So anyway, Tipa talked a little bit about the different cognitive scales that have been used and frankly still are used in mainstream care when we're working with people living with dementia. One of the earliest ones was a really simple early, middle, late. And so in early, people were usually still functioning at home, doing okay, but starting to notice something's not quite right. Middle, there's obvious changes that are occurring cognitively, and a lot of times that's when people would be prompted that they need more care, either at home or then looking for placement in a facility. Late then is the end stages of the disease process. And then there's this really positive thing called global deterioration scale. How positive is that, right? And so it focuses on numbers, and from 1 to 7 and that. And then there's the Aelc cognitive scales that Tipa talked a little bit more about because she's occupational therapist by trade, if you will. And that's where she kind of built then the gems, but still the Aelc cognitive scale is still a number system. The global deterioration scale goes 7 to 1 and 1 to 7, and the Aelc cognitive scales go in the opposite direction, 1 to 7. And one of the things that Tipa finds, and I find as well, once you start putting numbers on people, then we get focused on what number am I? And either if you're looking at 1, everybody wants to be 1, right? And no one wants to be a 7. Or I want 7 of something, but I don't want 1 of something, you know, and so we get into that. With Teepa's gems and as I work using that model and when to help me identify where this person is in their progression or where they're at in this moment, I find it's a lot easier for me than I'm focused on what characteristics do they still have and how can I help support that person rather than looking at it in that negative framework. It's a little bit more positive, if you will. And so we'll take just a few minutes today and kind of explore then those gems that Teepa's identified. And when we're this person's reaction, how might I be able to shift, if you will, and maybe have a different outcome from what we currently have.